about to arrive, and it's a holy feast and a joyful event for the whole world. What feast is that? It is the day our Lord Jesus Christ was born. It is true, the incarnation of Christ is a historic event that took place of certain time. He actually appeared on earth as a man and lived in a certain time period. When did this all occur? It is January 7th, December 25th, or Kiyak 29th. We are discussing this subject with Abuna Yohanna, trying to describe the difference between the different systems and trying to understand when our Lord Jesus Christ was really born. In continuation, thank you Abuna Yohanna for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. For this opportunity.
Trying to recap the first episode and in continuation trying to understand the different system. Can you just give us a brief summary of what we discussed last episode about the difference between the Gregorian and the Julian and the Coptic calendar?
Yeah, we have said that the Coptic calendar is equal to the Julian calendar.
Okay.
Because the Julian calendar actually is driven from the Coptic calendar. It is the same length with some modification in the names of the months and the length of the months of the Julian calendar. So when the scientists in Europe was trying to find is the Julian calendar accurate or not, so they found that the Earth completes its movement around the Sun in less than 365 days and 6 hours. The Earth completes its circular movement around the Sun before that time. It reached to the point which we can suppose any point we start counting from it. The Earth reaches this point 11 minutes and 14 seconds before completing the 6 hours.
Wow.
So there is some mistake in counting the length of the year. So
very
it
minute
was
difference, but it will accumulate and make a difference with the years, even
so
though it's very tiny.
they tried to count the accumulation.
Yes.
And the accumulation was 10 days at that time. Let me explain in an easy way. How can we how can we understand this? So here is the Sun, and here is the orbit that the Earth, which is here, suppose the Earth is here, moves like that around the Sun. The Earth is moving very fast, and it completes one circle, means it completes 1 year. So let's say the Earth is moving, so we can say if the Earth is here, let's say this is January 1st. So each point on this orbit represents 1 day. So here may be March 17, maybe here May 5th, and here this point. So when the Earth is here, we know this is June 26, for example. Here, if the Earth is here, so we know the day, because each point it represents
designated a date.
Yeah, so here September 15th, here October 29th, here November 27, and so on. So we know by the position and location of the Earth on the orbit, so we know the day. The day of the year, or the date of the day of the year. So let's say the Earth started from the point A, and it is moving all around the sun, and it should come here after 365 days plus 6 hours. So it should come to the point A after these days and these hours.
Yeah.
So this is 1 year. And this is the length of the Coptic calendar and the Julianic calendar. The same. They are the
They're
same.
equal.
They are equal. But the scientists discovered that the Earth came here before that time. 11 minutes and 14 seconds.
Okay, when did they discover that?
They discovered that in the 16th century.
Okay.
It was near the end of the 16th century. So, okay, the Earth came here and it is moving. So for these minutes and these seconds, it moved to another point. So we have started the year after from this point, let's say point B. And the year after that, it will start from point C. And it will start from point D, etc. So the Earth here is shifting. So instead of having a certain day for each point in the orbit, it is shifted forward. Okay, so all these 11 minutes and 14 seconds for several hundreds of years, it accumulated to be 10 days. So in the year 1582, they took a very courageous decision to adjust the Julian calendar. So they found the Earth shifted by 10 days. And it was, they thought that the Earth is here. It was here. It was not here. So it was shifted faster for 10 days.
Yeah.
10 days. It was October 4. But the Earth was in the point of October 14. So they took the decision to make the day after October 4th, October 15th. So they skipped, yeah. So they jumped from October 4th to October 15th. Because the Earth is already in the point of October 15th. So they fixed the error. They fixed the error. The Pope of Rome at that time, Pope Gregory, approved this and encouraged it. So it is named after his name. So it was the Gregorian calendar, or the Gregorian modification. So it was October 15th. After October 4th, they jumped to October 15th. And so we have this problem still existing. We have every year, we have these minutes and these seconds accumulated.
So how did they account for the foreseen accumulation now?
Yeah, So they created a system to adjust the Julian calendar forever. So the Julian calendar is just 365 plus 6 hours. But the Gregorian calendar now is not like that. It is 365 days plus 5 hours and 48 minutes and 46 seconds. So it is not 6
hours anymore.
It is just 5 hours, 48 minutes, 46 seconds. So, and those minutes, 11 minutes and 14 seconds, it accumulates every year. So they developed a system to adjust this. So they decided to drop one day every 100 years. Every 100 years they drop one day. But in the 400, they keep the day. So they drop just 3 days every 400 years. And they decided to drop just one day plus this in addition to this, yeah. Every 4,000 years. This didn't happen yet.
Okay.
This happened.
Yes, because we're
And
not.
this
We're
didn't
only 2,000
happen yet.
years. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus one more day every 20,000 years. And this is actually didn't happen yet. So they drop in 1700, the year 1700, they drop one day. It is a leap.
Yeah.
It is a leap year.
Yes.
But they drop the day of February 29th.
Okay.
It was just 28. I forgot to say that when they adjust this, so here was 10 days difference. Those 10 days, 10 days difference between the Julian and the Gregorian.
Yes.
So this is the Gregorian. 10 days. In the year 117, they drop one day, so it become 11 days.
Okay.
In the year 118, they drop one day, so the difference became 12 days. And in the year 119, they drop one more day, so the difference became 13 days. In the year 2000, they didn't drop because, as we have said, 3 days every 400 years. So those the 400. And so we lived this year.
So the 3 days are not dropped every 400. It's one day every 100 day.
The 400.
The fourth is skipped. So
yeah.
they don't do it all together. They just do it 100
like,
years at a
like
time.
this order.
Yes.
So we lived this.
Okay.
We didn't notice anything because there is no drop in the system of the adjustment, the system of the Gregorian calendar. But this year, 2100, which we will not leave, we will not live to see it. They will drop one more day, so it will become 14. It will become 14 or more. It will be 15, 16 every. So we have this system, and now we have the difference of
13
days between the two calendars, the Gregorian calendar and the Julian, which is like the Coptic. So
our Coptic calendar, which celebrate the birth of Christ on Kiak 29th, January 7th, is 13 days
Let's say before this year, 29th of Kiak equal to 25th of December.
Okay.
So this was before this year, 1582.
Yes.
It
was
fell
coinciding with
yeah,
the same on the
yeah,
same day.
Yeah. 29th of Kiak means 25th of December. After this year, there were it shifted to 4th
of January.
of January.
At some point, they were celebrating Christmas on January.
And then
4th.
it became 5th of January.
Okay.
Because here is one more day. In 1800, it became 6th of January. In 19, became 7th of January.
And this is what we're still
now, because the difference is 13
days.
And if we will leave the Coptic calendar without adjustment, it will move on.
Keep moving on and adding up days.
We will, adding up. So maybe after 7,000 years, we will celebrate the Nativity feast
in the
March.
summer.
no, in March 3rd or so.
Oh.
So it will fall in the Great Lent.
Okay.
So, but this after 7,000 years. So we have to adjust. I think the time came to adjust the Coptic calendar to be the same system of the Gregorian calendar. We will not invent the wheel. We will just adjust the Coptic calendar in the same way they adjusted in 1582 the Julian calendar to be the
to bring
Gregorian
it back
calendar.
to where it was.
Yeah,
before
to celebrate
82.
together
Yeah.
in 29th of Kiak equal to 25th.
So up to the
of
16th
December.
century, both dates were in the same day.
Yeah,
And that was for a whole 16 years, 16 centuries.
yeah.
Only the last 4 centuries that this whole Gregorian
The difference
calendar discrepancies
is
created.
the gap is
It keeps
increasing.
changing and increasing.
Yeah.
Okay, Amuna. So, why was the Eastern Church not involved in this whole change?
Yeah, the Gregorian calendar is developed in the West.
Yes.
And at that time, the Christian world is East Orthodox churches and West Catholic and Protestant churches.
Correct.
So when this happened in the West, gradually, because the West, is controlling the world.
Yes.
And the Gregorian calendar is the calendar of the world now. So some of the churches, mainly in the 20th century, the Orthodox churches in the East adopted the Gregorian calendar, and they celebrate now in December 25th. Only 2 churches of the Eastern Orthodox churches are adopting the old calendar, which is the Serbian and the Russian church. And of course the Coptic church, because we have the original calendar, the Coptic calendar, but we didn't adjust it yet.
Okay, with this we end our episode today. Thank you, Abuna, for being with us. Thank you for all the clarification.
You're welcome.
The birth of Christ was not the ordinary birth of an ordinary man. It was the birth of the most unique person in history. The birth of Jesus Christ was the incarnation of God Himself. In other words, the very God became a man. The significance of this is profound and will take all eternity of us to appreciate. What did He come down to earth to do? The importance and the significance of the birth of Christ is to show us the great forgiveness of our Lord Jesus Christ. But now the questions rises. Why not we do it to resemble the statue or the state of Christ's birth? Why not change the Coptic calendar to its original state? This is the question that we will answer next time with next episodes with Abuna Yohanna. Thank you for being with us today.